with the look. Be sure you're recording also.
You're listening to Village Connector Radio, part of the Village Connector Media Network. Village Connector brings you news and information that nurtures your mind, your body, and your spirit. We feed the soul of humanity. One and information that nurtures your mind, your body, and your spirit. We feed the soul of humanity. One and now, join us for Village Connector Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome to Village Connector Radio. My name is Glenn Garnes and I want to welcome you to the Village. We are trying something a little new today, playing around with some new technology. Actually, it's not new technology, it's just new to the radio room. I'll explain what we're doing in just a minute or two. While you're waiting and while we are watching people enter the room, understand that I'm working with a little bit of a control center here, trying to see everything that's going on. I want to welcome Joanna Key. Welcome to Periscope. And we are broadcasting live on Facebook Live, and we're also on Periscope. So if you're joining us on Facebook Live, I would ask you to share this out for the benefit of others that you know, and do the same on Periscope, please. If you wouldn't mind sharing on Periscope and then sharing on Twitter if your Periscope account is connected to your Twitter account, we'd greatly appreciate it. Village Connector Radio is becoming a habit. I'm making a commitment to produce this show consistently. And, you're very welcome, Joanna. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's always nice to have company in here as we're producing the show. We do get a lot of viewers that watch the replays and everything, but ultimately we really appreciate people joining us as the show is being produced. So Village Connector Radio is very simply this. We are an internet, television, and radio network that focuses on personal development. And what that means is that we are bringing content that literally helps you to be the best you can be at who you are and what you do. We cover three basic areas: personal development, meaning soft skills associated with things like success mindset, motivation, inspiration, leadership, anything that helps you to be better at who you are and what you do. We also cover health and wellness related information. Anything that from nutrition to strength training to aerobics, yoga, emotional, spiritual, and physical wellness. We then also cover professional development, meaning you might have an interest in getting started in a business. You might be interested in advancing your career. Whatever it might be, we offer a variety of different content options that help you to invest in yourself as your number one asset. And that's really what Village Connector is all about, is helping you to invest in your number one asset, which is always going to be you. So we produced a show, I think it was yesterday. We're getting into a rhythm with this, so you have to forgive me. The days are kind of running together, and we are working very hard to be consistent with our productions, because we understand that consistency adds to the predictability of when you can get information, and we want to be the source of information for you. So I'm going to do my best to follow the Facebook feed, the Periscope feed, and sharing some information with you from this computer that I have connected. So let me tell you what we're doing here, how we're all configured. That always helps people to understand a little bit more. So here in our radio room, this is a professional radio studio. And the only difference between this studio and the studios that you would see broadcasting over the airwaves is that our broadcast is done live streamed over the internet. We don't broadcast on the airwaves, we broadcast on the internet. And in addition, we also have some additional technologies. If you were listening to a traditional radio show, you obviously wouldn't be watching the radio show, you'd be listening to it. So we also have the ability to basically bring other content in, like what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be sharing with you some screenshots from, and I just realized I've got gum in my mouth. That's rude. My English teacher from high school would probably have slapped me by now. Back then, when I was in high school, that was allowed. But here's the point. We're going to be able to share almost like a webinar type of format where I can literally show you different pieces of information I want you to see, whether it be a PowerPoint presentation, could be like a view of the website. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I'm going to share and take you on a quick tour of the Village Connector community website so that you can see where all the information that you need is available. So those of you that are joining on the broadcast from Periscope, thank you so much. My name is Glenn Garnes, and I welcome you. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. So let's see if we can dive right in here. And before we dive right in, I see that we've frozen over here on Facebook Live. That's okay. I know that other people can still see us, and that's all that really matters. Let me see. So a couple shout outs that I want to give to
I see that we've frozen
friends
over here on
I got to turn off the sound on that. For some reason or other, we're freezing on Facebook Live on my browser. I don't think that it's freezing for other people that are watching. So if you are watching, there we go. So I see Vicky Richards, I see Mia Yee, I see Elton Krisafi. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. Please share and make comments. I'll do the best I can to monitor those. Please forgive me if I'm not being efficient about it. But like I said, we're going to be experimenting with some technologies here tonight. So first and foremost, special shout out to Mario Armstrong, formerly of Baltimore, based now in in New York City. Mario is in the process of launching an extraordinary project. He has created a network-style TV show that will be live streamed on the internet beginning sometime in April. That show is called Never Settle TV. NeverSettle.tv is the website, and I encourage you to go over to NeverSettle.tv after this show and get on Mario's mailing list. Mario is a very, very interesting guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him at the Periscope Summit last September, and we got to talking, got to be friends, and frankly, we stayed connected. And we support what each other does. So, I'm very, very happy to be able to talk about his radio or his TV show right now. He's basically put together an Oprah Winfrey style TV show, all about motivation and inspiration and uplifting people. And it's going to be live streamed on multiple platforms on the internet, just like we're doing here. We're live streaming on Facebook Live, and we're also live streaming on Periscope currently. We actually could add some other communities, YouTube Live and some others, and we'll do that later. But right now, I'm more interested in sharing on Facebook and on Periscope. But the thing that's extraordinary about Mario is that he is a TV personality on network television. He's one of the personalities on the Today Show with Al Roker and Matt Lauer. So I think it's every other Thursday or every Thursday they bring Mario in to talk about technology apps and other technologies that enhance quality of life. He's a lifestyle person, technology person. And he does an incredible job with it. He's just absolutely inspiring. He's a DJ. He does so many things. We have a whole show about him. In fact, probably we'll try to get him down here to the studio the next time he's in Baltimore. But Never Settle TV, neversettle.tv. Go get on the mailing list and keep an eye out for when he launches that. It's going to be incredible. Al Roker Media, is backing the show. They're providing all the financial backing to be able to produce it as a traditional TV show, but live streamed on the internet. That's going to be fantastic. And the reason that these things are important is that we have to start waking up to the possibilities that exist with all these technologies today. Mario did not have to wait to be blessed by a TV network with the ability to reach an audience with his show. He has an internet connection and a TV studio, and now he has the ability to go and take his message to the masses. And the reason that I mention that is because you have that same opportunity. One of the things we do at Village Connector Community is we make available our 2 TV studios and this radio room for people to produce content, mostly public speakers, trainers, coaches, wellness professionals, etc. But as time goes on, we will probably begin opening up the opportunity for the average individual to come in and use the studio to take a message to the masses. But for our purposes tonight, I want to show you and take you on a little bit of a tour of Village Connector and what we're doing here. And I'm going to encourage you at the end of this process to participate actively in helping us to promote the Village. We want to build this as the largest community of people across the world who are all interested in becoming better at who we are and what we do, and then working together with each other at the same time. So I'm going to ask you again to be part of making that happen. Now, one other shout out real quick. I want to give a special shout out to Scott Williams out of Oklahoma City. Scott is another avid personality on Periscope. I met him as well at the Periscope Summit in September of last year. And just like Mario, Scott is doing some great things. Now, he has a traditional radio show out of Oklahoma City. Scott is incredible. He's a former legislator. He was the youngest warden in the country running a prison. He is a minister. I mean, he's an ordained minister. And he's a very avid fitness buff. So I know he's going to love Village Connector content. And so if you're on Periscope, I encourage you to follow at Scott Williams and at Mario Armstrong. They're both great people to be connected to. So be sure to get connected. Now, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the Village, because that's why we're here. Yesterday, during the broadcast, I was sharing with you some of the TV shows and radio shows that we have coming up. And I want to add to that list because off the top of my head, I realized I had not brought the whole list into the studio, so I was going off of memory. But there were some additional shows that I want to talk with you about, one of which I'm actually going to ask your input on as something that I'm planning on doing and as my own show. So ultimately, we're going to need to get some feedback from you as to whether or not you think I should do what I'm proposing. We'll talk about that in a minute. But one of the shows I forgot, or I didn't forget, I needed to get permission from Daryl Spears of Elite Conversations to mention his show before it actually is ready to air. So Daryl Spears is a professional that helps business owners and business professionals to develop high-quality connections, to create a circle of influence with a lot of influence. And so when you go to one of his networking events, the people there take it very seriously. He's doing a great job of educating them and assembling them and then inspiring them to do great things together. So Elite Conversations Radio will be starting probably early next month. I've just got to work out the scheduling with him. Everything's ready. We just need to get Daryl in here to start sharing with you business networking and relationship building principles that help you to be more effective in business. So I'm really excited about that one. We have another show, Results CFO. That's the owner of that is Demit his real name is Demit Anagnostiadis, but he breaks that down to Anagnos for the benefit of people who are not able to pronounce his entire name. But Demit is a very good friend of mine who actually is helping small businesses to have access to chief financial officer resources. In other words, if your company is big enough that you need a CFO, but you can't hire one full time, Demeet provides that on an outsourced basis. This guy is an attorney. He's got bookkeeping and accounting experience and business. He's multi-talented. And he works with some very impressive companies by providing them with an outsourced CFO solution that makes it easy for them to get the expertise they need without the big ticket attached to hiring a CFO. So he's going to have a TV show where he's talking primarily about what all the financial data that you accumulate in your business should be used for to operate your business. And it's going to be a great way for you to get some insight into what it really means to be in business for yourself. So if you own a business and you aspire to grow and become a high growth company, this is going to be a great show for you to listen to and watch. It's going to be right here in the radio room. So it'll be fun to see who Demeet brings in here to interview. We also have a show that was just drawn up on the board. I'll be meeting with my dear friend Mia Reed. Many of you may know her in the context of nutrition. She started off as a juice coach and a nutrition coach, and now she is expanding to create a TV show called Living Meat Free. And so it used to be probably more focused on raw food nutrition, but now she's using cooked foods and raw foods, but still meat-free environment for the benefit of people who want to explore that as an option for themselves nutritionally. Mia has got so much passion for this subject. She is a wonderful resource on anything related to raw food nutrition, and whether it's cooked food or now it's cooked as well, but on the meat-free lifestyle. So I encourage you to watch that show. She's going to be bringing some great people through here. I've known her for many, many years. She actually has done juicing for me. And if it wasn't for the fact that she's no longer juicing on a consulting basis, she'd still be doing juicing for me. But we're at least going to have her here in the village teaching workshops and seminars on living the meat-free lifestyle. And then, of course, having a radio show where she's actually sharing those principles with you on a consistent basis. So there's a lot of good stuff going on in the village, and I hope you'll stay connected to that. And on that note, I want to do something that will help you to better understand what we're all about, and that is to hopefully take you on a little journey, if you will. Indulge me for just a few minutes here on the Village Connector website. Now, we have a email newsletter that goes out every week. Actually, we had a little bit of a hiatus with it, but it will now be going out every week on Fridays. And we just got finished completing a renovation of that newsletter. And what it now does for us is it gives us the ability to basically email you a dashboard that links to all the most important sections of the Village Connector website. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you to some of those sections of the website so that you can see what's there. But first and foremost, I want to encourage you to go to Village, not right this second, but when the show is over, go to villageconnector.com and scroll to the bottom of the webpage. And frankly, I forgot to do something else that was really important. I need to acknowledge our studio engineer, our producer for tonight. His name is Glenn Garnes. And Nolan happens to be my youngest son, who is trained on how to operate our TV and radio studios. So I want to thank Nolan for coming over to run the equipment for me tonight. It's a very special moment for me to have my son involved in what we're doing here, and he's doing a fantastic job. Nolan is in his second year of high school, and he's getting ready to start his own business. We're working on that right now. You'll be hearing more about that. I'll actually interview Nolan on the show about his business when he's ready for that. But ultimately, for the time being, he is producing my radio show, and I love him for that. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask Nolan to bring the camera to the website, and we'll be able to show you the Village Connector website. And then I'm going to show you where you can get on our mailing list, because we're sending out this new template first thing tomorrow morning. So I want as many people as possible on the newsletter mailing list so that they get the template. So you're seeing right now the villageconnector.com website. So it's villageconnector.com. If you scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see where you can fill in your first name and your last name and your email address and join the Village Connector community. This is all free. All these resources are free of charge to the community, and so there's really no reason not to take advantage of them. So please be sure that you do. Nolan, for our purposes, I think that we can stay on this screen for a little while. We're going to be spending a little time on this for the time being. So let's go back up to the top of the website. And I want to first share with you the internet, television, and radio section. So right in the menu bar at the top, and actually you can do it from the top of the website, or you can scroll down to where we say Welcome to the Village. If you click on Internet, TV, and Radio, it's going to take you to a page that allows you to see the Internet, Radio, and television icons for Village Connector TV and Village Connector Radio. If you click on the TV icon, it's going to take you to where you can view our TV shows. And if you click on the radio icon, it's going to take you to where you can view and or listen to our radio shows. So let's take a look at the TV shows just so you'll know what you're looking for when you get there. So I just clicked on the TV icon. It's going to take a second for that to come up. And what you're looking at right now is a grid featuring the TV shows that have been loaded in reverse chronological order. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom right now, we've got a show that we uploaded on January 15. Those first 4 episodes, actually the first 5 episodes of Village Connector TV actually feature an interview that was conducted by Sylvia Henderson, one of our founding members of the Village Connector community. Sylvia interviewed me about what Village Connector is all about. And so if you're interested in getting a little more detail about what Village Connector is all about, what we do here, and how you can benefit, I would encourage you to go and watch those episodes. They're all relatively short. I think no episode is more than 5 minutes long, and there's like 5 of them. So you can consume them at your own pace. But above that, we have some episodes of For Book Lovers Only, which is a show hosted by Rob Brown of ForBookLoversOnly.com. Rob is one of our members here at Village Connector, and he interviews authors about their books. He lets you get to know the author and also get to know more about the books, and it's a great way for authors, writers to feature their books to the community. Rob's got some great things going on. In addition to this particular TV show, next month, Rob will be starting his own radio show right here in this radio room, where he will have some author interviews, but for the most part, he's going to be highlighting and spotlighting people who send books into him. And again, next month, he's going to be doing children's books. And those would be books written for children and books written by children and teens. So if you know someone who has written a children's book, or a young person who has written a book, a teen or younger, we want to encourage you to get them in touch with Rob. And the best way to do that is to send them over to ForBookLoversOnly.com. ForBookLoversOnly.com. And they'll be able to get connected to Rob, where he can give them the details on how to get their books featured on his radio show at no cost. That's right. There's no charge for this right now. He's simply giving back to the community by giving an audience, giving a voice to authors who have authored children's books and children who have authored books. And each month he's going to have a different theme. So it's going to be a great way for you to get connected to a variety of different books, all the genres you can think of. Obviously, since the show is going to be weekly, he's going to be covering at least 52 different genre of books. And I think it's a great thing for you to be plugged into. If you're a book lover, For Book Lovers Only has a home for you. Now, let's go back over to the internet radio section now. And it's interesting because radio shows, I know most people are used to listening to radio more than watching it. But the technology today is such that it gives us the opportunity to do both. And so our radio shows are going to look a lot like our TV shows, except that they're always going to be produced here in this radio room. And we only have one up right now, only because I ran out of time. I was anxious to do the show. We wanted to get started. But by the end of this week, we'll have all the radio shows that we've done thus far loaded up here for you to be able to watch. Now remember, you can see them still on Facebook Live. I mean, when you can watch the replay. If you're not seeing them in the news feed on Facebook Live, you can always get them from here. And remember that there will be an email newsletter that goes out every Friday with the dashboard to navigate you to all of these important areas of the website so that you never have to worry about how to find where something was from the last time that you saw it. So the next thing I want to show you as we move down the line here, Village News. Village News, what we've done here, this is kind of our blog, and the way it works is very simple. Instead of putting all of the newsletter content in the email that goes out to you, we have a section of the newsletter that simply links to this page. That means every time we update the website, the newsletter is automatically updated. So all you have to do is click on the newsletter that you want to watch or read, open it up, and it's all there. And that way, if you ever wanted to come back and read something again or make comments on it, if it was just in an email newsletter, you wouldn't be able to make any comments on it. But because it's on the website, it's very navigable, very user-friendly, very easy to find. As you can see, we've got it very well organized here, and it covers a lot of the things that we're talking about tonight. So this particular one is very timely. So I want to encourage you to take a look at that when you get a chance. And let me explain something else. We are always open to and looking for feedback from you. So if you see something that needs to be fixed, or if you see something that we can do better, please feel free to give us that feedback so that we can make adjustments and continue to evolve and to enhance what we're doing here. What we do here is designed to benefit you. And with your feedback, we can make sure that we're always doing something that provides you with a benefit. So I'm going to try to see what I can do to take a peek now at what's going on in the comments on Facebook. Please forgive me again. I'm finding it difficult to navigate to all of these places. I see my cousin Sonia's in here, so welcome, Sonia. Good to see you. I wish we could see you more often, but at least we get connected here on Facebook. And I'm looking to see if there are any other comments that I can respond to while we're sitting here. Working with all this technology can sometimes be a challenge. Ron Mole, another old-time Village Connector member, is in the house. Thank you very much for joining us, Ron. I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. And Ron's got some extraordinary things going on. Ron is actually a tax preparer. And this is the time of year where we need to start thinking about getting our tax returns filed, especially if we're due refunds. File them early if they owe, and file them on time if you owe. But either way, you got to file them. So we're going to be talking next week about some ways you can get connected to Ron, because he's got a great way for you to quickly and easily get your tax return filed and get in line for a refund as quickly as possible. And he's been doing this for many, many years. He's been my my tax preparer for I don't even know how many years, but it's been a long time, and it's because he does good work. Now, so we know that if you click on Village News, that's a link in the learnings or in the dashboard, so you can quickly and easily get tuned into what's going on. Now, this next link I want to show you is our Education Center, and this is one of my favorite things about what we do here. We've got a complete learning center that's available to you free of charge and covers almost every topic you can possibly think of related to personal development. Success mindset, leadership, procrastination, goal setting, communication, time management, overcoming challenges, parenting and family, career and job. And this is just the beginning. We also cover topics associated with wellness. So if you click on the health and wellness section, you can get everything from nutrition to fitness to emotional wellness. When you go into the fitness section, you've got strength training, you've got aerobics, you've got yoga. There's all kinds of content in here. So when you go in and you click into strength training, you'll see articles, videos, and reflections on these topics. And at the bottom of each section, you can actually click in to see a directory of experts on those topics. So we get you connected not just to great information, but also to people who can help you to excel, help you to go deeper than we may have gone on these topics. It's just a wonderful way for you to stay connected in the village. And these are all people that have expertise with the subject matter of that's involved. So all these articles are designed to help you to explore, what's out here, and to really start the process of investing in yourself. And again, it's all free to the community. Here's the directory section on success mindset experts. So you can literally click in here. I'm going to click on Dr. Ray Charles as an example, and you can get to know Dr. Ray. You can read his bio. You can listen or watch a video from him. It might be an interview from time to time where I've conducted, and you can get connected to him all through social media. Find out what he's got available for you, both paid and free programming. So again, be sure to explore the Education Center. We're making it possible for you to really make 2017 your best year ever. I can't tell you how many times I hear people say that every year, but we have created resources that allow you to do that. So be sure to explore all these resources. They're free. And the reason they're free, let me address that. The reason all these resources are free is because we have local businesses that are stepping up to the plate to promote their businesses through the Village Connector Community Network. And in the process, we use some of the funding that they pay to promote their businesses to make these resources available to you at no cost. So what we want to encourage you to do, and this is another link in that email template for the weekly newsletter, is to use your smartphone to navigate to our merchant directory, villagetradex.com. Village Trade, the word trade, and the letter X, Trade X, that stands for tradeexchange.com. If you navigate there from your smartphone, it'll actually display a browser-based app that allows you to quickly and easily get connected to some of the pages on Village Connector, but also to a directory of local businesses in your area that support the Village Connector community. Now that program is in its infancy. It's just getting started. So if you go in there right now, there may not be a lot of merchants, but here's another way you can help us to grow your resources and the things that we can make available to you. Encourage the businesses you do business with to become part of the Village. Encourage them to join. We've got a special opportunity for them. I won't go into detail about it right now, but if you get them in touch with us, we will take very good care of them, for one thing, and they'll be able to take advantage of some early bird pricing that we have, including a lifetime membership option that will cost them less than what they would normally pay to advertise in a local newspaper for 1 week. So you'd be doing the businesses you do business with a favor by getting them connected to us so they can get the rest of that information. So be sure to do your part and help us to do our part by helping us to fund your freebies with the funds coming from local businesses who would like to earn your business. And we've got some very heart-centered business owners who are participating in this program. They really do care about their community. And it's nice to be able to give them an opportunity to earn our business when they are doing such a great job of investing in their local community through the Village Connector community. Now, the next link over on the website, if you click on community, this is actually our Facebook group. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group yet, please do that when we're done here. You can actually see that the live stream of the event actually appears in the Facebook group. So if you know that we've got a TV show scheduled or a radio show scheduled, and you know that it's going to be live streamed, you can come right into the Facebook group and catch it here. If you are a member of the group, I think you actually get a notification that lets you know that we're live streaming. If not, you know to check the event calendar and then to come in here when you know that the thing is being live streamed. So we are really pulling out all the stops with the technology here. We're making very good use of it to bring you value, and we hope you will take full advantage of that. Now, as far as the next link over, this is our events calendar. Now, the events calendar is very important because this is where you can really find out what's going on in the village. Right now on the event calendar, we have our radio shows, our TV shows, the events that we are hosting here in our event venue. Here in beautiful downtown Laurel, Maryland, we actually have a 2,400 square foot event venue where we host workshops and seminars and community events, family events and kids events and adults events and all kinds of things. And so if you come to the event calendar, also linked in this new email template, you can get connected to virtually anything that we're doing from the event calendar. And on that note, there's a very special event that I'd like to highlight right now, and that is taking place on January 31st. So for those of you that are local to us, January 31st, Tuesday, learn critical thinking skills playing poker. Think about this. We're going to have Josh Silverstone of Aces Rays. Josh is a professional poker player who has actually competed in the World Series of Poker, who now teaches you how to use the game of poker to develop critical thinking skills and to better engage in decision making in your life and in business generally. So you can actually come out on Tuesday night and have some fun learning the game of poker and walk away and legitimately treat that as a personal development education session for you, because he's going to teach you how to think better using some principles in poker. So I encourage you to come over to the villageconnector.com website, click the events calendar, and then click the link to register for the event. Now, I think that we're going to see this event be potentially made available at no cost to the community. I can't promise that, but I'm working with Josh right now. This was such a great event that I asked the two hosts of the event, Nancy DeLuca Stemple of the Learning Community International, and Nancy's someone we're going to get in here to interview on the show. It's a private school that has a homeschool fusion to it, where you're actually homeschooling your children, but you have the ability to get a transcript and a diploma at the end of the process. And I really believe in this school, and I'll show you that I believe in it because my son Nolan has been enrolled in the school for 3 years. It's a beautiful opportunity for you to let your child explore their full potential. Now, we don't have time to talk about that completely the way I'd like to tonight, but we will in the future. Now, with that in mind, right now this thing is scheduled to be a $49 investment. I'm going to tell you that what you should probably do if you're thinking about joining in on that event is to get on the villageconnector.com mailing list. And I'm hoping that by Tuesday we will have heard back from both Josh and Nancy as to whether we can turn this particular episode of this event into a free to the community arrangement. Again, I can't promise it. I know that they've got some costs associated with putting the event on, but we're trying to coordinate to get this paid for without your having to pay, because we'd really like to see you here for this, and we don't want the cost of admission to be a barrier to your coming out and getting a chance to be part of this event. It's going to be an extraordinary opportunity for you if you can be there. So mark your calendar for January 31st, next Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, the 24th, the 31st, the following Tuesday. And I hope that by this coming Tuesday, I will be in a position to let you know if we can get you in to this event at no cost. So at least know where to go for right now by looking at the website. Get on the mailing list at villageconnector.com, as I said, and we'll make sure that you get all the information about how to register for the event when we figure out if we can make it available to you at no cost. Now, Nolan, I think I'm done for the time being with the website. So we're going to go back. You can bring the camera back to me if you like. And okay, there we go. So we're playing around with this technology. Nolan's doing a great job. Thank you so much for being here to help me with all this. And, the next generation is going to have some extraordinary skill when it comes to using all these technologies. And I think it's important for us to learn how to use them in a way that helps people to grow. And that's really what we're all about here at Village Connector. Now, I would like to get a little feedback before we wrap up. I'd like to get a little feedback from you on a project that I'm going to work on. I've been working on, and I'm thinking about doing this in the form of a radio show, and that's where I want your feedback. Before I do that, though, let me simply announce that tomorrow we have two very important radio shows that are taking place. One of them is going to take place at 5 p.m. It will be live streamed. So if you join the Facebook group, and especially if you get on the email list, you'll get notification about Live Today Health Talk. and that is hosted by Tiffany Daniel, Rosa Hodge, and Charlene Browning, all of whom are going to be bringing you some great information on living a healthy and nutritious lifestyle. We have a lot of people that have experience with nutrition-related issues, and some of them overlap. Some of them you'll find will work better for you than others. So that's why we don't have just one person, one voice in the village. There are lots of voices in the village, and we're here to present those voices for you to take advantage of. So tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. for 1 hour with Live Today Health Talk. That's Tiffany Daniel, Rosa Hodge, and Charlene Browning. They're very entertaining too. It's a fun show, very high energy and very informational. Now, here's what I'm sorry, the other show for tomorrow. I'm bouncing around because I got a lot to cover. Tomorrow, I have another very special opportunity, both for me and for you. I have 3 sons and a daughter. And my 2 oldest sons, Evan and Emmett, have recently graduated from the Air Force and Marine basic training. Evan is currently stationed in San Antonio, Texas. He's completing his basic training. He graduated last weekend as an airman, and he had Airman's Week this week where he's about to be shipped off to his technical training. And I did not get a chance to see him because he does not get leave until July. So it's kind of a heart tug for me to know that my oldest son has now become an airman, and that it'll be another 6 months or so, almost 7, before I'll get a chance to see him again. But my middle son, Emmett, graduated from Marine basic training they graduated on the same day. So my wife went to San Antonio and I went to Paris Island, South Carolina, because I obviously couldn't be both places. But the reason I mention that is because Emmett got 10 days of leave, and he's here until tomorrow. I'm sorry, here until Monday morning. So he's coming in to be on the show to share with you his journey thus far as a Marine, his journey from being a poolee to being a recruit to becoming and graduating as a Marine. And Emmett's roots with the military experience go all the way back to high school for him. You'll hear more about that tomorrow, where he was serving in the ROTC program, the Air Force ROTC program at Laurel High School here in Laurel. So we're going to be able to kind of get Emmett in here to have a little chat with him and see what it means, what it's like, some of the good, bad, and ugly, at least the stuff that he's allowed to share. And I think it'll be very entertaining for you to understand what it really is like to go through the Marine basic training from the perspective of someone who you actually have the opportunity to know. So hopefully you'll tune in at 7 p.m. for that particular show. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this idea that I have. I am a big fan of the teachings of Napoleon Hill. Most of us who are familiar with Dr. Hill's work know of him for his authorship of the book, The Think and Grow Rich, one of the most published books in the history of books. It's probably been published in more languages than any other book in history, with the exception of possibly the Bible. Now, Dr. Hill obviously did a great job with Think and Grow Rich, but I believe the best publication that he's produced during his lifetime is another publication that you might not have heard of. It's called The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. And I'm going to show you my copy of The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. The Law of Success in 16 Lessons is, as you can see, 2 volumes, and it is a relatively thick 2 volumes. It's over 1,100 pages. Now, Think and Grow Rich is about 300 pages. So you can imagine that if you are going from an 1,100-page publication to a 300-page publication, you're probably missing something. And so I encourage you to study The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, the unabridged version of it. You can get this on Amazon. I paid $24 for the 2 volumes. I then took this to FedEx office. I had them cut the binding off, punch holes in it, spiral bind it so that I can lay it down flat. And I had them laminate the covers so that this will last me for many, many years. And as you can see, I have it tabbed all kinds of different ways. And it's because I refer to it so frequently. It's an incredible resource for me. Now, I got to be so enamored with this material that I started teaching a workshop based on the teachings of this program. And I also incorporate into that reference to the teachings in Think and Grow Rich and a couple of other related publications. Dr. Hill published this at the time that Wallace Wattles published The Science of Getting Rich, and at the time that Charles Haanel published The Master Key System. These are all publications that cover the same concepts, but from different perspectives, because the people that authored them understood the same principles from different perspectives. So what I'm thinking about doing, and what I'd like some feedback from you on, and I see William Murray's in the house over on the Facebook feed. Thank you for joining us. William just left here. William is another one of our educators here at Village Connector Communities, a member of the tribe here, and teaches on entrepreneurship. You should definitely plug into one of his events the next time he has one. We just finished essentially a 10-hour boot camp last weekend. But here's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about having a radio show which is based on the teachings of the Law of Success in 16 Lessons. In other words, instead of teaching this as a workshop that we would bring people here for, I'm thinking about making it a daily radio show where I will teach directly from the treatise itself and from other related books and just cover that just perpetually, so that literally we would have an opportunity for you to plug into a daily dose of good information, of inspiration. Now, I want you to understand that I am not an expert at all of the principles in this book. I am actually learning and getting better at them myself by continuously focusing on getting better at them myself. But in the process of getting better at them myself, I think that I can help to shorten your learning curve, and that would be my purpose in having this radio show devoted to the teachings of The Law of Success in 16 Lessons by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, and The Master Key System by Charles Haanel. So if you think that that's something that you would plug into on a regular basis, I'm thinking that I would produce that particular show maybe weekly for about 30 minutes. And, again, there's 16 lessons, so it's going to go at least 16 weeks. And then I don't know how many lessons will come out of The Science of Getting Rich separately. But I could see this going easily 52 weeks, 30 minutes a day, or 30 minutes a week, and we could have discussion about some of these principles in the Village Connector Facebook group, so that we can also then share with others what we're talking about on the radio show. So what I'd like you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is comment, if you will, in the Facebook feed if you think that that's something that you would take advantage of. If you're on Periscope, comment in the Periscope feed. And I say just, type a 1 if you think that that's a good idea. Type a 2 if you don't think it would work. And I will make a decision early next week, both with respect to whether to do it with your feedback and when to start it. Now, obviously, I want to start this pretty quickly if we're going to do it, because I want people to benefit from this information for the longest time possible. So Joanna says, do it. She typed a 1 in the Periscope feed, and thank you for that, Joanna. If Joanna's the only one that votes, then she wins. But I will check to see what people put in the Facebook feed and also into the Periscope feed when we wrap up for the evening. So I really love the opportunity to teach, to interact with people. In fact, I consider myself to just be not so much a teacher, but a serious student of these topics. And I find that I learn it better myself when I have to prepare myself well enough to share it with others. So I'm really looking forward to this opportunity to share it with you. And I certainly hope that the feedback that we get will result in us deciding to move forward with the project. Now, we have covered a lot of stuff in a very short period of time, but I do want to be respectful of your Saturday evening, especially since we're asking you to come back tomorrow for Live Today Health Talk Radio and for my Village Connector community radio interview with my son Emmett Laurel, Maryland's newest Marine. And so I'm going to wrap up for tonight's purposes by simply leaving you with this thought. We have so much potential for greatness. And by greatness, I mean the ability to serve and to accomplish and to achieve, that we are always only scratching the surface of our true potential. Let's make 2017 the year where we work on ourselves individually and with each other to become the best we can be for everyone involved. You see, I truly believe that humanity will evolve when we learn how to invest in ourselves and work together with others who are making that same commitment. Our goal here at Village Connector Community is to make it simple and easy for you to invest in your number one asset, and then to teach you and encourage you to share your gifts, talents, and skills with the rest of your community by working together with others. If everyone does a little, no one has to do a lot. Many hands make light work. Let's embrace each other and see what good we can do in the community. My name is Glenn Garnes. I want to thank you for joining us on Village Connector Radio, and we'll look forward to seeing you back real soon.
This radio program is a copyrighted production of Village Connector Media. If you wish to share it, please feel free to do so. But if you wish to reproduce it, please ask. We'll probably say yes. Visit our website at www.villageconnector.com to find other ways you can stay plugged in to resources that keep you growing. Thank you for listening to Village Connector Radio.